Just yesterday, the White House, not the White House, they announced it, but they released a report, an assessment, that was authored by more than 300 scientists. Mr. President, this is just papers all over the world are talking about this. One of the Hill newspapers that we all read has a picture on the front that is stunning. And it shows a picture of a man walking near a portion of the scenic highway that collapsed near Pensacola, Florida. The new report, they're talking about the one released yesterday, climate change is rapidly turning the United States into a stormy and dangerous place, and notes rising sea level and natural disasters. New climate report, people's lives are at risk. Subheadline, despite warnings, no signs of changed minds on Capitol Hill. The former head of the Environment Committee in the United States Senate said that it was a hoax. It's a hoax. The Koch brothers want some open debate. It's here. We've done it. The report that I'm referring to here concluded there are disastrous climate changes taking place on our Earth due to human activity. While the Koch brothers admit to not being experts on the matter, these billionaire oil tycoons are certainly experts at contributing to climate change. That's what they do very well. They are one of the main causes of this. Not a cause, one of the main causes. An analysis by the University of Massachusetts Amherst, the presiding officer knows this well, he's from the state of Massachusetts, ranked Koch Industries as one of the nation's biggest air and water polluters, period. In 1 year, Koch Industries released 31 million pounds of toxic air. How much is that? It's more than Dow Chemical, ExxonMobil, and General Electric combined emitted. They are the champions. The Koch brothers' actions against the environment aren't limited, though, to toxic emissions. Charles and David Koch are waging a war against anything that protects the environment. Now, I know that sounds absurd, but it's true. These two billionaire oil barons are actively campaigning now, spending tons of money against anything that seeks to curb pollution, limit our dependence on fossil fuels, or lower energy costs for working families. Even the Keystone debate, Mr. President, they're one of the main owners of all that stuff up there, that ugly tar stuff in Canada. They are, if not the largest, the second largest owner of that stuff up there. The Kochs are pumping millions of dollars into political organizations fighting legislation that's good for the environment. Mr. President, they're not doing it only in Washington, they're in the state governments. They've intimidated state legislators. Charles and David Koch choose to ignore climate change. The Kochs choose to put our environment at risk. Why? Because it makes them richer, more affluent. They're making billions of dollars, and in so doing are significantly damaging our environment. The New York Times article recently highlighted the Koch's attempt to fight renewable energy, even in state legislatures. It became so pronounced that the New York Times wrote an editorial criticizing these two wealthy men. As states promote solar and wind energy by offering incentives to renewable energy companies, the Koch brothers see how it will affect their bottom line. They don't like that. They want to continue their coal operations, their diesel fuel operations, their spewing of chemicals all over America because they can make more money. As renewable energy grows and becomes more efficient, and it is, oil and coal have become a smaller piece of the pie. That's a fact. And that just won't cut it for Charles and David because it affects their bottom line. How unfortunate for the world that the Koch brothers trashed this beautiful planet and jeopardized my children, my children's children, health and future. Just add more zeros to their huge bank account. Bloomberg publications now estimate that Koch's combined wealth exceeds $100 billion. How much money is enough for these two men? I urge my Republican colleagues in the Senate to stand up to them. Well, they won't. You know, after I give this speech, a few of them will come down here and say, it's freedom of speech. What's wrong? We have an obligation to stand up when these lies are perpetrated to the American people. So no Republicans are going to come and defend this energy efficiency bill. Energy efficiency and independence is good for our country. It's good for American families and good for the earth that we live in. So don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by the greed of these billionaires named Koch.